Chapter 11. Britain readied itself for the German attack. Posters were slapped on subway walls, some showing dashing and Air Force pilots in leather jackets, others showing German soldiers parachuting from the sky. "How to recognize the enemy," they said, and described the German eagle-winged insignias to watch out for. Londoners walked around looking up, convinced the Nazis would be arriving at any moment. The London Zoo brought its animals inside, stuffing boa constrictors and cheetahs into sturdy crates. Anti-aircraft guns were set up in Hyde Park in a confusing attempt to throw the enemy off guard. Road signs were uprooted throughout the city. Lisa was grateful. She already knew her way around. The assembly line at Platts & Sons was immediately switched over to the full-time production of uniforms, and Lisa's floor now cut and stitched trousers for the Royal Navy. One day, Miss McRae, the line manager, seemed less chatty than usual, and at lunch, Lisa overheard the other girls talking about the news.
"Mr. McRae has been shipped into France already. Did you hear? Last night, real sudden like, with no warning at all. For God's sake, don't they have any concern for us in the missus? Now how you going to keep a secret if we know about it? You bots to get 'em before you count to 10. Guess you're right. But they're going to smash them stinking Jerry's, aren't they? It'll be over before Easter."
Lisa listened to their conversation, but didn't feel enough at ease to join in. They talked so fast with their Cockney accents, it was all she could do to catch half of what they were saying. She imagined the dark expanse of the English Channel, the gray sky she had almost seen a year ago now, and pictured the men setting out to sea. She was so grateful they were going. She'd sew 1,000,000 uniforms for them if that's what they needed. Now that she'd become a permanent member of the hostel, Lisa was given her own drawer in the bureau, which was filled with her music, the hairnets she needed for the factory, and several new scarves that she had sewn for herself during the lunch break, pieces of cloth that she had reused from boxes of donated cloths. The hour from 6 to 7 was a favorite time for everyone to gather in the living room and listen to Lisa practice. Since the gift of Miss Cohen's sheet music, she no longer had to play only the pieces she knew by heart. Part of every session was an adventurous struggle through difficult new pieces, and she longed for her mother's guidance. When the effort to learn something new was too tiring, she would lapse into her favorite, the Grieg Piano Concerto. She played the unforgettable first bars, dum, 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 and invariably someone from the committee would hum the musical response, The heroic and tender passages of the Grieg Piano Concerto had worked their way inside everyone's heads, and the musical response to the opening bars had become the call to the arms for a committee meeting. Aaron had been the first to do it, and the habit had stuck. Sometimes Gunther would sit on the piano bench to be closer to the beautiful music. As Lisa had gotten to know Gunther, she had come to love his sweet and gentle manner. Sometimes she shared the images of the music that her mother had instilled in her. "Hear that? That's the sound of the deep blues of the fjord," Gunther smiled. Grieg was from Norway, so I picture this is a summer's night when the sun never sets. Can you see it? Low in the sky? She played the end of the elegant slow movement, then launched into a staccato dance. Ta 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 ta, she hummed along. Those are the pheasants dancing. Must be exciting, Gunther said, making her laugh. Promptly at 7, Miss Glazer announced dinner, and the children rushed into the dining room. As months went by without the sighting of a single German bomber, many Britons became convinced it had been a false alarm. Half of the 800,000 parents with young children who had been left for the countryside returned home, and England played a waiting game. Even the 150,000 soldiers of the British Expeditionary Force, who had been sent across the Channel, were waiting, hunkered down in muddy barns in Belgium and France. Lisa's waiting also continued. When Hanukkah came, a promised visit from Sonia was postponed. In spite of the lull, people said London was still too dangerous.